Welcome everyone to the Side Draft Podcast. This past weekend, NASCAR Monster Energy Cup Series went to Bristol Motor Speedway. Of course, a fan favorite. A lot of short track action this weekend. Kurt Busch managed to break a winless streak there, so that was pretty awesome to see that happen and how exciting he was to win that race.
Yes, he used to dominate the old Bristol, and it's good to see him get back in victory lane again.
Maybe he'll start dominating the new Bristol if he returns to NASCAR next year.
Yeah, because it took a while for everybody to figure out the new Bristol. I know Kyle Busch, he had it all figured out, but Kurt, it's good to see him back in victory lane and getting the Stewart Haas Ford back in there.
Beginning of this weekend, we had Kyle Larson winning the pole. He seemed like the dominant car in practice. He had like one of the most consistent speeds. He looked to be one of the dominant ones. Before the race began, we had all the NASCAR driver kids singing the anthem, so that was pretty neat.
That's really good. I liked what they do with the kids and bringing them, getting them involved, and it's just really good hearing them singing the national anthem.
And major news happens in the very first few laps. We had Kyle Busch right under Ryan Blaney, got loose, tagged Blaney a little bit, and then he went around and everyone started hitting him. And
he's just in the middle of the track, and he's just hard to avoid him, and everybody just piled up.
He would still be able to race his way back through the field. They took a lot of parts off of the car. Still ran pretty good, though.
It's all beat up, but it's still fast. So.
We also had some names in there in that crash. We had the 43 of Bubba Wallace, and the 96 we had of Jesse Little, 99 Greg Galding, the 7 J.J. Yaley, Michael McDowell. We had Timmy Hill, AJ Allmendinger, the 11 Denny Hamlin, the 41 of Kurt Busch. As you can see in the thumbnail, a lot of duct tape on that front end by running into the 11. And Truex just a tad bit in that. Probably were more names than that, but that is what we wrote down. A lot of big names in that crash.
I mean, if you spin around in front of the field, it's like almost 30 some cars going to hit you anyway, so it's hard to keep up with everybody that got a little bit of damage.
The 4 car would take the lead on lap 15, and then Larson would take the lead. Blaney and Larson would bump a little bit, and then Blaney would just take over after that.
Yeah, Larson, he was like, I'm getting the lead. Hey, where'd that red and white car come from?
And, yeah, Blaney would take the lead over for a little while. Paul Menard, the other driver of the yellow Menard's car, would be in the wall. He had a good first few laps there, just couldn't keep it because of a tire issue. Then around lap 61, we had a competition caution, which allowed teams to make adjustments to their cars. Ricky Stenhouse would be the first off pit road. Unfortunately for him, he was speeding, and he had to start from the tail end of the longest line. Also, Daniel Suarez was speeding, so unfortunate for both of them. They're both trying to make it into the playoffs before the big cutoff race.
Yeah, it's always good to go fast, but don't go too fast on pit road, and you get pulled over by the pit road police.
they ought to do that. They ought to get like the pace car to go pull them over or something. That's something they ought to do. Yeah, we saw Stenhouse just struggle after that, so it was an unfortunate call for him. But Blaney would continue to lead. Blaney would win the stage barely.
Yeah, his car would just take off on the short runs, and he had a really good, strong car. I mean, he was doing some real good things with the Penske cars. I mean, he always runs pretty good at Bristol anyway, and it's hard to get around the lap traffic, and Kevin Harvick would catch up to him, and Harvick would almost win the stage, but Blaney just barely nudged him out, so it was really good.
So Blaney won the stage, Harvick in second, third is Clinton Boyer, fourth is Chase Elliott, and fifth is Eric Almirola. A lot of Stewart Haas names up there. Interesting to note that the 78 went a lap down in that cycle of green flag laps. But it's interesting to see the big three, other than Kevin Harvick right now, is struggling in this race at this point. Yeah. And Harvick would lead on the restart. The 9 would take the top spot for a little bit. Harvick would run him down, but he would have some sort of vibration and would have to come in. And the big three just took a big hit this weekend.
Yeah. Yeah, it took a while for Kevin Hart to really rebound from going 2 laps down. He got 1 lap back, and it took forever to get the other one back. So, but he did still finish the top 10.
He was almost going to get a lucky break if he would have got in front of the 12 before the next caution was going to happen. He would have been on the lead lap again, essentially. But happened right in front of him. Eric Almirola would get into the 38. Saw him the 38 holding up Blaney the previous stage, and I guess Eric Almirola either just had a big run or he just wanted him out of his way and punted him out of the way, whichever one happened. But the 38 would go for a ride.
Yeah, it seemed like the lap cars, I don't know if they just had to run where their car would run, and it was really hard to pass it. They either get the high line or the low line, and passing was really a struggle here. You didn't know where to go high or low, and it depends on where your car really ran.
Logano would lead off pit road. He would lead multiple laps. The 42 of Kyle Larson was trying for the lead. Then the 17 would get into the wall, 3 laps down, free pass. Battle between the 18 and the 4 for the stage in would come in, so he had some lap traffic get in the way of the 4 car, and the 18 would be on the lead lap once again.
Wow, that's real impressive for that team.
Had a big battle for the lead at that for the stage win. Joey Logano would win the stage, beating Chase Elliott, and Chase would have to settle for second. Third was Kyle Larson. Fourth was Eric Almirola. And stage 3 would commence. Logano would lead once again. Chase Elliott would take the lead again. And the 10 car would get black flagged around lap 161 because he was just spraying fluid all over the place.
Yeah, he was smoking all around the track for several laps. I don't see why NASCAR didn't tell him to come in. And I don't even see why they didn't come in. He's like, well, my car's getting better now.
Look in your mirror.
It was like,
wow, it's foggy out here.
And once again, we're trying to play Mario Kart. You get the smoke screen going out and stuff. So
NASCAR kart.
So they black flagged him. So you got to come in and fix your car.
Caution would be out shortly after that for the 51 of Sorensen. Keselowski would get the free pass. Kevin Harvick's just not getting any good luck right here. He just
couldn't catch a break. He just wanted a caution so he could get back on the lead lap, and seemed like just right before the caution come out or something, another car would get lapped. So it was really tough for him.
Ryan Blaney would have loose lugs from that pit stop. He'd have to pit again. He'd have to start from the tail end of the longest line, and that's just not something you want here at Bristol. Clint Boyer would take the lead. The 78 was running him down. He looked in his mirror and he saw a very broken car running faster laps than he was. 69 to go. Kyle Busch got right there at Truex. Looked to be like Kyle was going to get around him very cleanly. But Truex, I don't know what happened there. Just a little bit of tap, and then Truex flies into the inside wall.
Yeah, I think Kyle Busch kind of misjudged it a little bit when he come up the track and just barely clipped his corner panel and sent the 78 car around. And in doing so, he collected J.J. Yeley.
Yeah, hard hit for J.J. Yeley, so that's very unfortunate for him. For both of them, you have, 2 of the big 3 with crash race cars, and the other one's lap down. But somehow one of them is still very fast, and I guess for Kyle, the way that the back end just wasn't there, I think that really gave him a huge advantage. But for Truex, he was practicing his karate skills there on his car. Perfect form, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, the car didn't do that totally. You just take your frustration out.
Truex, I want you to say sorry to your car. I'm going to name him Marlon. Say sorry to Marlon right now. But all jokes aside, we would bunch up again. Kyle Busch would have trouble with his fuel because of the back end. So the back end would cause an advantage for him, but yet again, it would cause him a disadvantage.
Yeah, because they had to have an extra man to hold the sheet metal and hold it up there so they can fuel the car. I mean, you can't get the car go around the track. You can't get the fuel in it. So every time he'd race his way up to the front of the field, he would go and fuel and then had to start the back again. So he had all kinds of issues today.
Not long after that, we would have another caution for the 2-car Brad Keselowski. Flat tire, just had a ill-handling race car the entire day, so unfortunate for Brad.
Yeah, our picks didn't do too well today.
No, they did not. Speaking of our picks, we went 3 wide there in the next restart, 48, 37, 18. And the 37 gave Kyle Busch a big old hug, and they gave him a tire rub, and Kyle's going around once again. And
yeah, I guess Busch beans and M&M's just don't mix.
No, they don't. As we saw a lot of smoke coming out of the grill of that car. The beans are ready. Had Kyle Busch refused to get out of that car. It's okay. We wrecked it once. It should be better now. But
this is a tank. It won't get destroyed. Just push me back.
So Kyle sat on pit road for a very long time during that events. A lot of event happened there. But then we would have his brother Kurt Busch leading with 10 to go. Kyle Larson, looked to be the one that was going to win. Larson's car was just too loose. Kurt Busch snapping a over 50 race winless streak, and we saw how excited he was, and I think that's something, that we haven't seen in a long time as a driver, just being purely that excited for a win.
He was real happy. I mean, he's just real ecstatic, and he was so happy he forgot to even take the helmet and gloves off the top of the car after he did it. I mean, it was burnouts, and I think he didn't realize it till they talked about it on after the race. So.
I thought he did that on purpose, like screw the helmet, but
I don't want a victory lane. I ain't worried about no helmet. So.
Yeah, in all fairness, I probably would have done that too.
Yeah, he's so excited. I want to get back in the car. I want to go to victory lane.
So Kurt Busch, congratulations to him, Billy Scott, and all of Stewart Haas Racing, really, because Kevin Harvick battled back for a top 10 finish. The next finisher in the big 3 would be Kyle Busch in 20th, which was my pick. So pick rundown, mine didn't do too good. He picked Keselowski, finished 16th. So both of us finished multiple laps down.
Yeah, I believe I picked the wrong Penske car.
Yeah. Joey Logano, Ryan Blaney was up there towards the end, but it was Kurt Busch claiming victory. And it seems like Kurt Busch always loves to win with duct tape on the grill.
Yeah. It ain't fast till you put some duct tape on there.
Which this race was iconic. It's one you just want to buy the race win diecast. It's a crown jewel race, really, to these drivers, and I think this race was 10 out of 10. Yeah,
it was real exciting. I mean, it wasn't really anybody that could just jump out front and just take off and lead the field. It's just they get the lead and somebody takes them down, and there's all kinds of battles all night. Even with the top 3 would even have problems, and it's just you come right down to the finish, and it's always exciting.
I think Lionel Racing was very concerned if Kyle was going to win because I knew that the race went diecast and had to take his car, take a sledgehammer, and smash that diecast all to pieces, because that right or left side was very crunched up, almost like it didn't even exist.
Yeah, I don't know how they. I think they just had to take the whole body off of the diecast and just put some aluminum foil and just wad it up,
scrunch it up. But
we'll put some M&Ms on it. It'll be fine.
They got a lucky break, I guess. They decided that they wanted the front end scrunched up instead of the side. So Kurt Busch wins, and we have off week next week, so we get to enjoy some trucks and Xfinity racing, road course racing. So that's going to be exciting. Cup guys gets to take some goody powders and heal their headaches.
Yeah, they might need a week off after this race.
So, Darlington Throwback Weekend is the next race. A lot of throwback paint schemes. It's always one of my favorite weekends just because of the throwback schemes. So, who's going to take home the throwback trophy?
Well, I won't go for one that's already won this year. Only once won at Hendricks, and I won't go with Chase Elliott.
Well, Chase Elliott. I think he can do it. Showing some speed lately and driving one of his.
Yeah, he seems like he likes the short tracks. I mean, he really did good here at Bristol, and I mean, he's showing some. He's coming on strong.
I believe his throwback paint scheme is for like one of his cousins or friends, something like that. But
yeah. Bright
yellow car, I believe, and. My pick is going to be one of the big three, of course, because why shouldn't it be? I believe Kevin Harvick's going to claim his 8th victory of the season. It's just no way that I see him losing this race unless it's to Kyle Busch or Martin Truex. But I think it's going to be Kevin Harvick winning number 8. So that's all for this video. If you can find Dale Jr. somewhere in the thumbnail, comment down below and you'll win a shout out next week or not next week, but 2 weeks from now in the Darlington race podcast. So hope you enjoy your week, and we'll see you for Darlington.